Hello there, and welcome back to the Agostinho Zinga show with your host, Agostinho Zinga, and this is episode number 788. That is 788 of the Agostinho Zinga show with your host, Agostinho Zinga, and I hope you're doing well wherever this lovely podcast may find you. I hope you are doing swimmingly, hope you're doing fine, hope you're doing cool, and all of that stuff in between. How am I? All good, all things considered, all good. All things considered. Just got back from the gym actually, had a nice little bit of a feed, washed and showered, nicely oiled and all of that good stuff, and all the crevices that need be. This whole facial regime thing that I've been doing, or this, making sure your skin is nice and taut and tight and bouncy and almost mirror-like in this effect. Apart from the money that you spent buying these products, it's also kind of tiring. It's also kind of tedious, not gonna lie. I can understand now why some people are starting to reduce the number of products they're using. I'm still in the beginning stages of it where I'm excited. So I'm using stuff like toners. I'm using all sorts of stuff. I'm using loads of things at the same time. But I think a lot of people have said once you start getting into your skincare regime, you'll start to prioritize certain things, not because of money, just because you can't be bothered to do the same thing again and again and again and again and again and use a ton of stuff. So, maybe that I'll get to that point. At the moment, I kind of, as much as it's tedious, I kind of like the procedure of it, right? It's almost like getting in the shower, right? Sometimes it can be tedious, but once you get in and the water hits you and you feel that freshness once you step out, you're much more thankful that you do it. You did it anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's something that it's something that I've been sticking to, weirdly enough, a lot these last few days, or these last few months actually, not even days, these last few months. I've been sticking to it very, very well, and I'm kind of pleased with myself because I didn't think I would be able to stick with it and do it on an almost daily basis. But even I am getting to my wit's end where I'm like, oh, do I need to do again with this cleanser again, with the toner again, with the vitamin C, the acid, whatever it may be? It's just like, oh yeah. Now I honestly get why people just stick with the three main things or the two main things and just keep it moving, because it's just too much after a while. But it obviously pays dividends, and it's one of the things I've always kind of argued with people whenever they talk about people like the Kardashians and whatever, and they say they got no talent. I think part of their talent is the presentation. Part of their talent is staying the same size for the majority of their lives, so they fit in all the clothes that they can fit into. Part of the talent is making sure they look a certain way when they step out, face, outfits, all that stuff is part of their talent. Because regular folks like you and I, doing that every single day, like having to wear like runway clothes, think about that. Not even just like standard garb that you wear. You're not allowed to pop out one time to Tesco Express and wear your Marvel pajamas. You can't do that. You can't just step out quickly and wear your Uggs on the way to get some milk. Every time you step out your house, there has to be an intention, there has to be a purpose, there has to be a plan for it. You can't just have like a wild day where you pop out to go get some fucking filters or something. You're not allowed. You have to always wear runway looks. Imagine how exhausting that would be. Always having to wear trousers to pop out to go get cigarettes, to go get some milk, to go get a drink. So that in my opinion is a talent, because they are putting themselves on the line. And again, they get paid handsomely for it. It's not like they're working on an oil rig. It's not like they're roofing in the summer. It's not like they're working as bin men or firefighters or, working as a flipping nurse or whatever it may be. I know, I get it, but it's another level of work. Like even just the idea of like staying the same size for a considerable amount of time. Nowadays it's a lot easier to do so because of Ozempic and other stuff. But, having to literally be in like fight mode, because essentially they're in like influencer, like fight camp, innit, the Kardashians. All year round they're in fight camp, because they have to, keep themselves trim. All year round there's fashion weeks to go to. All year round there's red carpet events to go to. All year round there's Cannes. All year round there's Coachella. All year round there's all these things that are happening you have to step out for, and you can't step out with like love handles. You can't step out with bingo wings. You can't step out with cellulite there. You can't even have cellulite. You're not allowed to have cellulite. A pimple, bloody hell, imagine if the Kardashians step out with a pimple on the center of their forehead. There'll be like op-eds on every flipping news outlet writing about them, critics on fucking Twitter debating about them, fans and detractors alike on Reddit tearing them down and lifting them up. It'll be non-stop abuse. So in a roundabout way, that is part of their talent, just staying in fighting shape and keeping themselves amongst it, keeping themselves in the game, which is part of the which is probably half of the battle, right? Just staying around, just hanging around. Even though I think I read recently, I think I might have read it, it wasn't a news article, I think it might have been people from the Reddit or something, or maybe somewhere else, I forgot where I might have read it, but allegedly the show itself, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, isn't doing well. Allegedly the ratings are quite low, allegedly the show is a bit boring, and people are saying it's run out of steam. But I feel like I hear that every year. I feel like every year I hear someone say, oh, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is running out of steam, it's not as good as it used to be, blah blah blah. And they all just keep renewing. They always keep renewing, because think about it, if Keeping Up with the Kardashians it has a bidding war, or is you know, has to leave Hulu or wherever it's on now, there'll be a bidding war for them. There'll be tons of people that'll be wanting to have their IP or have their star power on their platform. That is without a shadow of a doubt. So when they say the numbers are down, does it mean numbers are down from like the first season when they ever aired, during their peak? I don't really know. It's hard to really say, but you'd imagine, you know, especially with Kanye completely out of the picture and stuff, that might, you know, have a bit of a dent. And plus with them kind of maturing, maybe not being as silly on camera, because part of those reason why those shows are successful is because everyone's kind of naive and everyone's desperate and hungry for fame. But when, you know, most people in that family have already got millions and they've got various streams of income, plus they do like NFT stuff, plus they do all those other scams online like giveaways and all this stuff and promoting fucking horrible mobile games, there's always a flow of money coming their way, right? Whether it's liquor brands, hard seltzers, whatever they're doing, there's always somebody willing to partner with them to give them money. So the money aspect isn't a problem. So then you think to yourself, how are you going to act out on a reality TV show? How are you going to start fighting your sister or say some, you know, derogatory thing about a certain group of people or slander some other celebrity? It's not going to happen. You're just too comfortable. So that might be the reason why that show's kind of gone to the wayside, but I don't expect it to end anytime soon. Most likely they'll give them, you know, they'll give them little spin-off shows, or they might focus on a certain part of the family. And I'd imagine, this is really crass to say, but I'd imagine, this is really gross and horrible to say, but I'd imagine there's tons of networks out there who are rubbing their hands, frothing at the mouth at the prospect of getting some of those kids involved when they grow up. Whether it's Northwest, Saint, all the other kids as well, from the other families and the other individuals, there's probably somebody in that camp waiting and hoping for it. But then I did read a story. This is disturbing, actually. I'm not too sure if this is true, but I thought I read a story about this woman called, I think her name's Malika. She's like the black lady that's always around the Kardashians, and she's friends with like Khloe and I guess Kim as well. Allegedly, she's meant to be the baby mother of OT Genesis or something. I think so, one of the type of rappers. And I saw something where it said she asked Rob Kardashian for his sperm so that she could have a baby. And I was like, what? I think I read the sentence like, or the headline about 4 or 5 times. I was like, hold on, this woman who's not related to these people and just a friend, because they all seem to have a black friend. I think at one time the other black friend was like Justine Saco, and fucking bless her, because she's a really good singer. I really like her. She does some good R&B. She's actually featured on a Little Yachty song actually, that came out a couple of years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. She's really good, but for a while she was like the Kardashians' token black friend. But this other woman called Malika, I guess, is maybe the older version, right? She might be even I'm not too sure if she's the only one, but regardless, I remember reading that headline thinking, that's the most LA Kardashian thing you've ever heard in your life, innit? Just some but maybe it's also quite normal. Maybe it's normal. Maybe there are people that do that within friendship groups. Like, oh yeah, could you tell your brother if I could have his sperm so I could have a kid or something? If he doesn't mind, if he's got some leftover sperm, does he mind giving it to me? So I can try and put it in the petri dish, put it in a frying pan and see what I want. It's like, yo, so weird. But you'd imagine a lot of that with her is also like a way to get into the family. Like, I want to be a Kardashian by any way possible. So give me your brother's sperm and let me just, you know, rub this skin lightening cream on my arms and make myself look lighter so I can be one of you guys. Because, you know, at this rate, with the amount of fucking bronzer and toner those Kardashians, you know, apply on their body, they look mixed race anyway. Do you know what I mean? So they're not too far off from my Nubian cocoa butter fucking soft skin. But hey, what can you do? Those are the things I think about on a daily basis. In case you're wondering, Agostinho, what's Agostinho thinking about these days? What time is he on? That's what I'm on. I'm thinking about sperm. Moving on from thinking about sperm, I've also been thinking about cancel culture, because I made a little bit of a flippant remark the other day, because I was doing my random show, and I want everyone to know, or to be aware, that the reason why I took a bit of a break in between doing the Tazs show is because I'm doing back-to-back marathon flipping random shows just to cover the 1000th episode of The Fire and the Kid, because they did a 998, they did 999, the 1000, so I wanted to just follow it across the week and kind of react to it as soon as possible, because it was super fun to do it in the moment. Because sometimes when days go by and I'm being lazy and I'm scratching my ass and farting into my hand and shit, it can be a bit mad. So I did cover it on time. I'm happy for me. I'm giving myself a pat on the back. But while I was doing it, I was thinking, or I did say something flipping about cancel culture, and I did say something like, oh, cancel culture doesn't exist. And I'm not too sure if I believe that now, because I've just marinated and I've, meditated on it a little bit more. The reason why I think I said that to begin with is because I was getting annoyed. I think some of you guys are the same. I was getting kind of annoyed and kind of pissed off and kind of frustrated with all of these comedians out there who bloody go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about cancel culture. But then it never really negatively seems to affect them. And if anything, they seem to use it to their advantage. It's almost like they are hoodwinking us, right? It's almost like the Andrew Schultz thing, begging these fans to support his comedy journey. Oh, I'm doing this for you guys, all this sort of gobbledygook. And then saying he's going to not have his show or his comedy special on YouTube or the networks because they don't want him, and he's a renegade. He puts it behind a paywall. He makes all his fans buy it. And then in the end, he turns around and puts it on YouTube anyway. So, he basically did a bit of the okey-doke on the fans. So I feel like comedy, especially comedians, they use cancel culture to their advantage, right? They cry foul about not being able to say what they want, but then when they get cancelled, they seem to go on like this cancel culture tour, going on every alt-right centrist podcast that exists and bemoaning the fact that they can't say what they want. They can't call people a bunch of sticks. They can't call women a B word without consequences. They can't use the G word, all this sort of stuff. It's like, bro, you can say what you want, but you're not free of the consequences as per everything. But then I was thinking about it some more, and I thought, you know what? Cancel culture does exist. But you know what's really sad? Cancel culture exists only for you and I, regular people. That's where it exists. Because I thought immediately, when I was thinking about this whole thing, I was like, oh, it does exist, because I remember this one crazy story that I'm sure most of you guys also remember, featuring this woman called, what's her name again? I think his name is Justine Saco. This lady called Justine Saco, who got into some real unfortunate hot bother because she decided to tweet a little bit of a racy joke as she was flying to Africa, and by the time she landed, her whole life had been turned upside down because of one dicey, racy, edgy joke that she made on her own fucking Twitter page. Unfortunately, these are the type of people that get cancelled. Regular people like you and I that just have a job, who are just trying to, shoot the shit, let some things fly on social. That's what social media is for. Let some things fly, post some racy shit, maybe post a picture of you hungover, smashed, railing a line, dabbing a fucking pill, exchanging saliva with somebody that isn't your husband or your wife, sending out a fucking racy tweet about how you like the Tories and you like the Conservatives. That's what the flipping social media is for. If you can't do that, then what's the point of social media? So all these comedians that complain and shit, they're complaining from a point of privilege, because this sort of stuff that happened to Justine Saco, where she got fired and her life got ruined because of that one tweet, it wouldn't happen to a regular comedian, because a regular comedian would say that racy shit. They'd go on Rogan, they'd go on whatever else podcast, Lex Friedman, whoever it may be, and they'd go on a tour. Then they'd become, especially if they were somewhat mildly attractive woman, they'd become like a hot conservative woman. They'd become like a hot conservative woman, talk piece, math, whatever, talking head person. And that would be their new life now. That's the reality of it. Because comedians or anybody else that does content, you're kind of cancel culture free. You're kind of protected, which is a good thing, because you've got your own fan base. So you can never really be cancelled. It's almost like the YouTuber. I recognize that a lot with YouTubers. I remember there was a point in time where I was like, I used to hate watch a lot of, what's her name again? I'm trying to, my head fucking boggles her name again, but let's say someone like a Trisha Paytas. I'd be hate watching content about Trisha Paytas. I'd be sitting there thinking like, how can somebody enjoy her like this content? This is terrible. This woman's fucking just awful, right? I was just watching it, thinking, I don't understand the appeal of this sort of stuff. And then she'd do something crazy and get quote unquote cancelled. And then, you know, life would just go on. And I realized, like, oh, she has actual fans, though, that like her for who she is. Exactly. They know exactly what she is. They know her faults. They know her foibles. But they like her for that. That's why they tune in. They don't tune in because they want her to have a come to Jesus moment. They like her because she's exactly what she is. Whatever it is. Loud, a mess, all over the place, funny, crazy, blah, blah, blah. They love it all. So if you're a content creator or a comedian, essentially, there's nothing you can really say. We've already seen evidence of it with the Crystalia thing. Crystalia got, you know, essentially got accused of like PDF light, kind of, right? It's almost like everyone that he was talking to was kind of legal, but not really, super young. And then, of course, the interactions that he had with these super young girls were very undesirable, let's say. If you found out your sister was dating someone like Crystalia, you'd be super pissed off. And, you know, in my head, I thought, oh, he's done. He's flipping over. It's finished. Especially with these fans. It's like, okay, like, it'd be hard for a fan to be like a fan of this guy if they find out that he might be a diddler. And then lo and behold, he took a year out, sat down, which is a privilege in itself, by the way. That's a privilege in itself. To take 1 year off of doing anything and just sitting down, that's a privilege in itself. And then he came back and nothing changed, really. Yes, he can't go on Netflix. Yeah, he's not going to be invited to the Golden Globes. Yes, he's not going to be in any big movie anytime soon. But when it comes to writing his own checks, when it comes to doing stuff, you know, having his own, setting his own timetable, working for himself, creating his own content, he's perfectly fine. His fans seem to be completely happy with it because they don't really care, really, if you think about it. Why would they care? The Crystalia that they know is the one that makes content and makes stand-up comedy specials and makes videos and does a podcast. They don't really care about the Crystalia that might be, you know, into some dicey shit involving kids and shit. They have no interest in it whatsoever. So if you're a content creator, podcaster, or whatever it may be, cancel culture doesn't exist for you, especially if you have a fan base. If you don't have a fan base, you're fucked. Then you're like you and I. But if you have fans who are already supporting you, you have a Patreon, you have a pop-in channel, you have a pop-in Instagram, social media feed, wherever you are, there's nothing that anybody can do to cancel you. If anything, the only thing that happens is that you have like a bad week on the internet where everyone's kind of like getting at you in the comments and stuff, and your notifications are going crazy and people are DMing you wild shit and saying they're going to do this to you, do that to you. Okay, that can be distressing. But really and truly, 48 hours maybe 72, and it's basically over. For the most part, that whole, you know, the fervor is basically over, especially if you just keep on keeping on. Don't goad people. Don't try and poke the hornet's nest. Just keep posting after 48 hours, 72 hours, and it basically goes away. So when I hear comedians and stuff complaining about cancel culture, it fills me with so much rage. So much rage, because it's like, bruh, it doesn't affect you. It really doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. But then it also made me think about this clip that somebody posted actually on the Find a subreddit. I don't usually cover this stuff on Tazs because it's primarily a cultural commentary podcast, but this does relate to what I'm speaking about. And it features a clip of Brendan Schaub here actually talking about his friend Bryan Callen, who's a co-host of The Fire and the Kid. And he's basically talking about how he was negatively impacted because he defended his friend and his co-host Bryan Callen when he was accused of rape, let's just say, on this particular podcast. And because he stood by him, most of his shows were cancelled, or he wasn't being given spots at comedy shows or at comedy clubs, and he was surprised by that. So let's play the clip of what he had to say regarding this issue.
It created teams, and people went, oh, well, Brendan not only defends them, but brings them on the show, does a show with them. Like, so it ostracized me from certain comedy clubs. And, you know, I'm like, wait, what? Wait, you're not sending me availables now? I didn't do anything. But you did. You're on that team. We're on this team. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And all that, I'd go, okay.
So for some reason, this grown-ass man was surprised that action has consequences. Because a part of me thinks he should be applauded, as redacted as it sounds, as insane as it sounds, as dumb as it sounds. He should be applauded for standing up for his friend, right or wrong. Most likely, if you have to ask me, my humble or honest opinion, do I think Bryan Callen did the things that he was accused of in that Los Angeles Times article? I'd say yes. And if you ask me a percentage, I'm going to say 90%. He did the things I described in that article. But if you're a friend, you're not meant to have the point of view I'm having. You're meant to just blindly support your friend. Now, caveat would be, in my personal opinion, again, I'm not the best judge of this sort of stuff because I don't have a big social group of people that I kind of hang around with on a daily basis. But I've always said, like, loyalty in a friend or loyalty with your friends is everything. If you don't have loyalty with your friends, then what's the point of having friends? But there should be some things that you can't come back from. And I think personally for me, the things that you can't come back from, especially if that's your friend and you find out they did it, because who knows what your friends get up to when you're not with them. But if you found out your friend was a rapist or you found out your friend was a pedophile, those should be two things that should be excommunicated. There's nothing else to say. Can't talk to you, can't be around you. That's it. Because I'm more prone to forgive somebody for murdering somebody than I am prone to forgiving them for raping or touching kid in an inappropriate way. Because the murder thing, unfortunately, as sad and as crass and as unemotional and almost sociopathic as it sounds, people can die really easily, right? You could get into a fight with somebody for a legit reason, you punch them and then they hit their head on the bench and then they die. Do you know what I mean? So being a murderer doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. Obviously the act is horrendous, but I'm not going to cut you off or, stop being your friend because you got into a scrap in Shoreditch and the person slipped and fall and banged their head on a fucking glass or something. You know what I mean? It is what it is. They shouldn't have worn what they wore. But when it comes to PDF and pedophilia stuff and rape, I think that should be a pretty hard line. There's no coming back from. But that aside, Brendan decided, I'm going to stick by my guy and I believe him. He said he didn't do it. He didn't do it. The thing that really boggles my mind is that that's a serious allegation. So if you saw what happened to him, Bryan Callen's career basically got completely eviscerated when it comes to outside of podcasting. He's not basically allowed back into Hollywood. He didn't really have shows on Netflix anyway, or like comedy specials. I recently found out that all of his specials actually released on YouTube, which is basically a bad indictment on his part because he's been in the entertainment industry for so long, and to not have one comedy special on a major network is probably a sign that you were never really that guy. But regardless, the rape allegations go out there, sexual harassment allegations go out there, and his Hollywood career and normie career, mainstream career is completely tanked. But obviously he still has a podcast, still has his stand-up comedy, which in my opinion, again, I'm not speaking as somebody that did those things or as a rapist or as a diddler, but surely if you're a diddler or a rapist, and then all you have is a podcast that pays you, let's say, $500,000 a year, and stand-up that might pay you, close to $100,000 a year, I think that's a pretty good result at the end of it. You could have lost everything. And of course, you still come from a rich family. So it still surprises me to this day, hearing this guy speak the way he did the other day, Brendan, that he was generally surprised that even though Bryan Callen's career was completely ruined by those allegations, he was surprised that him standing up for him would also affect him. It's like, that's the consequences. And that's the price that you're meant to pay. If you really want to be a freedom fighter, you have to accept that there might be some consequences. You might lose some things, friends, time, like your freedom, whatever. You might lose some things because you're fighting for a bigger cause. Like these comedians for a long time were telling us that they were like, fighters against cancel culture, right? Fighters for freedom of speech, all this sort of malarkey. Then when the cancel culture Me Too movement finally came and knocked into their doors, they all ran and hid. No one really stood up for their friends, really. I can't think of a single person, apart from maybe Louis C.K., but the Louis C.K. situation was easy to defend. That was easy to stand up for because that just seemed like somebody that's got like a bit of a weird kink, right? Where he likes to jack off in front of people just looking at him. Like, it's just strange, wiping down on a plant, weird. But it's not like he's holding their head down to their crotch and being like, suck it. Do you know what I mean? It's odd, but it's easy to defend. And he's also a generational talent. So everybody wants to be around someone like that. It's like a Yeezy Kanye thing. But with these other guys, no one defended each other. No one came to their aid. No one came to their support. No one stood by them. No one put their own career on the line. Because they were acting like they would. Oh, this cancel culture thing is horrible. There's a mob, a cancel mob. That's all it is. Blah, 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 blah. And then when it finally came to their doorstep for them to set an example, okay, we're going to stand on our shit. They didn't stand on their shit. They all ran and hid, which I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand. All these men are like, most of these comedians, white, middle-aged men. They all have families to look after, families to support. Why would you risk your family's future for a podcast friend? Because a lot of these people also aren't friends. They like to present an image, which is something that we have to give these guys a lot of credit for. I have to be honest. I think they're probably better than DJs in this regard, because I think DJs have a tendency, which is strange really, because DJs usually start off being like, you know, dirty, trashy people like us ravers, right? We're all fucking fuckheads and caners and druggies and alcoholics and just layabouts and weirdo people. We all start out like that, but then once DJs make it and become professional, they almost turn into snobby, pretentious, up their own ass type people. So it kind of completely changes how they act. But I feel like comedians are very clever in that they have an ability to, like, even if they come from a rich family, they cosplay as working class or middle class really well. Tom Segura being a good example. He's always been a rich dude, always come from a good, you know, a family that did well, or his dad obviously did well for the most part. Big up fucking Top Dog, RIP to him. But he maintained, before he got skinny and before he became unfunny, he maintained an image of being like a regular guy for a long ass time. If you obviously did the science and you obviously looked into it deeper, you would know, even from early on. I think I remember listening to an episode of Your Mum's House where Christina and Tom Segura would be talking about, how they came up in comedy and how hard it was. And I remember they said something like they were living together while pursuing comedy. I remember hearing that once. I was like, hold on, you weren't working and you both were living together as a couple while also pursuing a stand-up comedy career. And at that time, doing spots was like, what, you'd get paid $50 or something. That don't make sense. Then you obviously realize, oh, cool, you know what I mean? Then you obviously put it together, like, how can two middle-aged people pursue a career in the arts without having a full-time job? And you're like, oh, that's why, mommy and daddy's money, cool. But they do a really good job at presenting this like working class, middle class, lower middle class type of, you know, persona, which obviously helps them when it comes to their comedy, because they're like the everyman. But then, you know, they talk a big talk about, you know, being against the cancel culture thing. But then when it comes, but then they have the privilege, they have the opportunity, they have the money and the resources to actually fight it. If they wanted to really go against cancel culture and like speak up against it and be like, enough is enough. I can say what I want. I can say what I want when I want on my platforms. My business opportunities shouldn't be damaged or negatively affected by my thoughts I have on my own social media page. This is like living in fucking, you know, this is like living in fucking Russia. This is totalitarian. This is communism. This is horrible. This is not free. Whatever they want to, whatever angle they want to push, they could do it. They could afford to actually do it and actually make a change, but they don't. They fucking don't. The only person I think did it well was maybe Joe Rogan. He's the only guy that did it. Joe Rogan actually did it quite well. He was the one that, when they came after him for the ivermectin horse tranquilizer shit, he just kept on keeping on. He didn't really stop talking about, and he's, you know, he refuses to shut up about COVID, by the way. He just loves talking about COVID, but he did well because he had obviously the funds and the resources to allow that. And of course, it also helped that Spotify kind of backed him up and didn't kowtow or bend to the mob either. But the rest of these guys, it's an absolute nonsense, isn't it? It's an absolute nonsense the way they talk about cancel culture, because it doesn't negatively affect them in any kind of way, But then I also wanted to read quickly the article about Justine Saco. This is a good one, courtesy of the New York Times magazine, where they speak about the tweet and how it negatively affected her. And the headline is, "One stupid tweet blew up Justine Saco's life." Written in 2015 by a person called John Ronson, who I'm sure most of you guys know for all the great books that he's written over the years. So, it says, as she made her long journey from New York to South Africa to visit family during the holidays in 2013, Justine Saco, 30 years old and a senior director of the corporate communications at IAC, began tweeting acerbic little jokes about the indignities of travel, and free was one about the fellow passenger from a flight John F. Kennedy Airport. "Weird German dude, you're in first class, it's 2014, get some deodorant." In a monologue as I inhale BO, thank God for pharmaceuticals. To be honest, what she said here is hilarious, but it's also very 2013 energy. Like, people were, early Twitter, people were saying stuff on there. Like, this is kind of PG, really, to be fair, but people let it rip. I think it's kind of returning to that now. Elon Musk has bought it. There's kind of an air of like, do what you want. But it's funny though, as soon as Elon Musk bought Twitter, I feel like people on Twitter, instead of using it as a platform now to actually have free speech and say what they want to say without the fear of getting suspended, it's almost turned into like a social media feed where everyone just says nigger with a hard R. Like you just see white people just saying it like casually in their fucking tweets, like to make a point. Or it's like dog whistle. It's like, it's not even dog whistling, it's just whistling. It's like, bro, so you got freedom of speech now on this social media platform, and now you're using it just to say nigger. That's what you're using it for. That's the use. I fucking love it. It's so humans are awful, aren't we? We get freedom of speech, and instead of just like, you know, sharing our unfettered opinions on some really important topics, we just drop some racial slurs on everyone's head top. Cool. It continues. Then during her then during her layover at Heathrow, chili, cucumber sandwiches, bad teeth back in London. That's a good description of London, I'm not going to lie. If you had to describe London in one sentence, it would be chili, cucumber sandwiches with mayo, probably, bad teeth back in London. That's perfect way to describe London. It continues. And on December 20th, before the final leg of her trip to Cape Town, she says the following tweet: "Going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS, just kidding, I'm white." Which remains one of the most goated tweets ever. I don't care, because imagine the turmoil and the chaos she could cause if she tweeted that in 2024. Imagine if you tweeted, "Going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS, just kidding, I'm white," in 2024, and you look like Taylor Swift. You were white, so white you were fucking transparent. Imagine what that would look like. Imagine your replies. Imagine your engagement. Imagine people going, bro, you'd be everywhere. It'd be so fucking hilarious. It continues. She chuckled to herself as she pressed send on the last one, then wandered around Heathrow International Terminal for about half an hour, sporadically checking her phone. No one replied, which didn't surprise her. She had only 170 followers. Sacco boarded the plane. That's the cruel part of the story, by the way, which doesn't really get spoken about enough. It didn't get picked up immediately. It got picked up while she was on a plane. So imagine you go to an airport, depending on how early you get to an airport, you still have to, even if you get there on time, you're still going to take you about an hour to get onto a plane, and before the plane obviously departs. So you have time for people to reply, whether. She had no idea what was going on until she was on the plane. No one replied within the hour that she was wandering around, buying shit, waiting for the gates to open. Sacco boarded the plane. It was 11-hour flight, so she slept. When the plane landed in Cape Town and was taxiing on the runway, she turned on her phone. Right away, she got a text from someone she hadn't spoken to since high school. The person said, "I'm so sorry to see what's happening." Sacco looked at it baffled. So imagine, you've never spoken to this person since high school. Just some random person, maybe somebody you know, study group with, where you're like, hold on, why is Suze texting me? Why is Daniel texting me? What's happening? I'm sorry, what? Then another text: "You need to call me immediately." It was from her best friend Hannah. Then her phone exploded with more texts and alerts, and then it rang. It was Hannah. "You're the #1 worldwide trend on Twitter right now," she said. Sacco's Twitter feed had become a horror show. In light of Justine Saco disgusting racist tweet, "I'm donating to care today. How did Jason Saco get a PR job? Her level of racist ignorance belongs on Fox News. Hashtag AIDS can affect anyone." Imagine that being a tweet, actually, to support people. Hashtags are always funny because they almost sound like satire, even if you use them in a sincere way. How did Justine Saco get a PR job? Her level of racist ignorance belongs on Fox News. Hashtag AIDS can affect anyone. That sounds like a joke, doesn't it? Hashtag AIDS can affect anyone. You're trying to get viral off of, like, okay, whatever. I'm an IAC employee, and I don't want Justine Saco doing any communications on our behalf ever again. That person's a narc. And then one from her former employer, IAC, the corporate owner of the Daily Beast, OkCupid and Vimeo. They said, "This is an outrageous, offensive comment. Employee in question is currently unreachable on international flight." The anger soon turned to excitement. "All I want for Christmas is to see Justine Saco's face when her plane lands and she checks her fucking inbox or voicemail. Oh man, Justine Saco is going to have the most painful phone during turning on moment where the plane lands. And we're about to watch this Justine Saco bitch get fired in real time before she even knows it. She's getting fired." The furor over Saco's tweet had become not just an ideological crusade against her perceived bigotry, but also a form of idle entertainment. Her complete ignorance of her predicament for those 11 hours lent the episode both dramatic irony and a pleasing narrative arc. As Saco's flight traversing the length of Africa, a hashtag began to trend worldwide. Has Justine Saco landed yet? Seriously, I just want to go home to go to bed, but everyone at the bar is so into has Justine Saco landed yet? Can't look away, can't leave. And right, is there no one in Cape Town going to the airport to tweet her arrival? Come on Twitter, I'd like pictures. Has Justine Saco landed yet? Hashtag. A Twitter user did indeed go to the airport to tweet her arrival. He took her photograph and posted it online. Yep, he wrote, Justine Saco has in fact landed in Cape Town International. She decided to wear sunnies as a disguise. By the time Saco had touched down, tens of thousands of angry tweets had been sent in response to her joke. Hannah, meanwhile, frantically deleted her friend's tweet and her account. Saco didn't want to look at it, but it was far too late. Sorry, Justine Saco wrote on Twitter, your tweets live on forever. So this woman's life got completely ruined. She probably ended up back on her feet anyway. I don't really know what the end outcome was. It's not really that important to the point that I'm trying to make. But in general, the general point that I'm trying to make with this whole thing is that counterculture unfortunately only affects us regular people. But weirdly enough, us regular people are the ones that like to cancel each other the most. You know? We're the ones that like to go after each other. We see some crazy person in the shop in a viral video swearing at some kid or kicking some black woman, and we instantly paint them out to be a racist. But then we find out later on that black woman spat at her, punched her, beat her, said some mad thing to her, but then we only see the clip where the white lady hits her back. But then we cancel her and she loses her job as like some nursery school teacher or something. So maybe lay off with the knee-jerk reactions. We see something online, give it a day, maybe a couple of hours, do maybe your own research and shit, and find out what's actually going on before you start saying hashtag somebody needs to get fired or whatever it may be. But again, what do I know? What do I know? Absolutely nada. So I've also been thinking a lot about dancing lately. Yeah, I know some of you are thinking, oh my God, what are you talking about dancing? You dance? I can't imagine you dancing. You're built like a fridge. Shut up. When I was younger, I was really into dancing. I went to dance classes. I did a lot of like break dancing and shit. Did a lot of popping and locking at home. I did the standard thing that all dancers do where I did like Michael Jackson talent shows. I did all this sort of madness, right? I was all over it. And, you know, with me being into dance music and with me being a DJ, it's also another intrinsic part of that culture as well. That's something that I love to do when I go out, no matter if I'm high, drunk or not. Just dancing and having a good time and just letting your body move to the beat is something that I absolutely love. But lately, I've also been thinking about dancing properly. Like actually booking a studio at Pirate, putting on some songs, putting on some tunes, and just fucking skanking. Maybe trying to learn some new amapiano dances, maybe trying to learn some new viral dance or some choreography, whatever it is. I've been thinking about it more and more lately. And more so because I've been like, you know what? The weird thing is that I was into so many extracurricular things that I've kind of put by the side because of the fucking internet. I spend way too much time on it, but I was doing a lot of things outside of the internet that helped to inform my internet usage, and I think generally made me a more interesting person, because that's, you know, part of the reason why I do these things is just so I have something to brag about when somebody asks me, oh, what have you been up to? You're like, oh yeah, I've been doing this and this, right? That's the only reason why we do things, right? We don't do things for our own pleasure just to enjoy them silently. We do things so that we can brag about it and boast about it to our friends or to someone we want to fuck or something. Do you know what I mean? That's part of the fucking pleasure of doing it. And in my case, it's to impress other men and make sure that they think I'm cool. You know what I mean? Because girls don't care about this sort of shit. If anything, you know, if you tell a girl that you're going to a dance class, she might think you're gay or something. She might get the ick. She might get it'd be like a red flag, especially girls nowadays. But oh my God, he's spending all this time doing things. It's like, shut up. Anyway, all that being said, I've been thinking a lot about dancing, and I've watched probably one of the best music videos I've watched in a long time. And I don't really watch music videos. I tend not to watch music videos. I'm not really a music video watcher anymore. But I was watching Victoria Monet's All Right video, the song that's produced by fucking Kate Renata, one of the best songs on her latest album. And this video, the choreography, the dancing, the effects, the rain, her, the dancers in the back. Oh, legitimately might be one of the best music videos I've watched in a long time. in a long time. Don't get me wrong, Victoria Monet always kills it when it comes to dance music, when it comes to music videos that include dancing in it. But this particular one, I think just because of the song, I think also because I've been listening a lot to K Tronada's new album, Timeless. I've been playing that back to front in the gym. It's absolutely phenomenal. I've got that fucking K Tronada like boom, 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 boom. I got that K Tronada like bounce, that little house fucking kick that he's got in my head. So when I'm hearing all right from fucking Victoria Monet, all I want to do is just immediately just start shaking my hips, bobbing my fucking head back and forth, doing some of those hand motions that they do in the fucking video, and just fucking going crazy. And I've been thinking a lot now since watching this video. I've been like, you know what, this is like watching a skate park. This is like watching like a Zoo York video, right? It's like watching, you know, one of those fucking new fucking Supreme Cherry videos, skate videos, and then your first thing you want to do is go and skate. It's like watching fucking a UFC fight card, and then you start fucking shadow boxing in your room. Do you know what I mean? Or if your wife's around, you fucking get her into a fucking guillotine or something. This is what it feels like when you watch Victoria Monet's fucking music videos. You just want to go out and just start doof, 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 dancing and going crazy. And the whole video is fucking phenomenal. There's a bit at the end. There's a bit towards the end. I guarantee you, please watch it if you can. Victoria Monet, alright. Victoria spelled Victoria, Monet spelled M-O-N-E-T, alright spelled alright. Watch that fucking video. There's a bit towards the end where she does a tribute to Michael Jackson. She has a tribute to Michael Jackson. Phenomenal. She's wearing this like shimmery, I'm not sure what the material is. I don't know what it is. It's just a shimmery black suit. She's got the hat on. She's just, and it's not even over, it's not really, and again, I think I have to give credit always to the fucking choreographer who does all her stuff. I think his name is like Sam Bankhead. Is it Sam Bankhead or Sean Bankhead? I've got his on his tab here. I keep forgetting because I do follow him on the old social media. His name is Sean Bankhead. I have to give credit to Sean Bankhead because his choreography is always just subtle and never too much. So the tribute to Michael Jackson at the end, it's just little nods, it's little hand movements and stuff. It's nothing too crazy. It's not like she's going overboard, like it's all just done perfectly well. And you might know Sean Bankhead from this viral video, or that went viral on my side again, because I feel like my feed on social now, especially on Twitter, I'm speaking about it like it's a fucking living organism, but it is. I feel like my Twitter feed is phenomenal because I'm just on the fucking I like fucking everything that I see, that I like, that I'm into. So I think the algorithm notices what I like and it curates this amazing feed sometimes, especially when I go on my For You tab. I just get the best recommendations. So it all comes up on there. So it's all full of, you know, football, skateboarding, streetwear, fashion, all this sort of shit, right? And I always also get the dancing stuff. So I get the dancing shit and he pops into my algorithm and I see this video in particular going crazy on my timeline. And just think about some of the clips that you've seen online of dancers doing their thing, especially, you know, the Caucasian types. It's usually a little bit too like, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 1 2 3. It's all too like, you know, it's almost like there's no self-expression, there's no freestyling. It's all just like kind of regimented, right? But with Sean Bankhead, with Sean Bankhead and the other, choreographers who are non-Caucasian, there's just an effortless like rhythm and bounce and just feeling, and it's all like loose. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of like South African dancers or people from like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Angola and shit who are into Amapiano. They always say that they hate how non-Africans dance to Amapiano. Because allegedly, Amapiano is not meant to be danced. Your dance is not meant to be like, you're not meant to be going crazy. You're not meant to be sweating, actually. It's meant to look effortless. The whole point of Amapiano dancing is to act like you really don't care, but you're really hitting it. Like you're acting like it's not really a big deal, but you're just hitting it. Dun 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 dun. It's all kind of effortless, and I think you see a lot of this with the Sean Bankhead, especially if you watch this Victoria Monet video. There's a lot of effects. There's a lot of great outfits that she's wearing. There's just a lot going on in the entire music video, and you could be forgiven for thinking that she's doing a little bit too much or this, but no, it's the movements are so fluid and so loose and so chill. And then you go to this guy's Twitter page and you check one of his videos where he dances and you see where that looseness and chillness comes from, because he just is effortless. Even when he's doing something like that looks kind of wild, just look at how he bounces and moves. It's just effortless. This is one particular video that I particularly like from him.
bucking, yo, bucking, bucking, like a tentacle bull, bucking, wow, bucking, a good night. Look, money is bull. Look at that.
Come on, man. Come on. The bit at the end with the violin. The bit at the end with the violin. The shoulders in the pool. Come on. Come on. It's too good. Number one, let's be real. Number one, let's be real. Let's be real. Number one, let's be real. Let's be real. Number one. Am I ever going to get into that position? Even standing up. Am I ever going to get into that position without blowing my fucking back out? Probably not, right? Am I ever going to get into like a half squat, feet out? Like, I'm not going to be able to do that with my back flat like that. I probably couldn't do that, right? But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go because I know if I try to do this, if I just tried to like stand and do that, you know, trousers would split, my arsehole would be hanging out, I'd look like I'd have a hemorrhoid from the back. Like, it'd be fucking crazy. So obviously that's not going to work. But just the way that he does it, the way that he flows with it, it's just so effortless. It just looks so good. One more time for the fucking reload. Why fucking not? Come on.
Bucking, like a tentacle bull, bucking, wow, bucking, a good night. Look, money is bull.
The violin. Come on, man. Too fucking good. And then you're like, okay, cool. Agostinho, that's a bit lame. That's a bit gay. That's a bit sassy. That's a bit zesty. What are you talking about? What do you want to do? Okay, cool. Well, look at this then. Look at him just chilling with a coat on, just hanging out, having a good time, testing out some fucking bops and bit. Look at this. Just testing out some bops. Just being chill. Not really taking life too serious, right? We're going to turn up a bit of the music as well because maybe it's a bit too loud and it's going to be crazy. But let's turn up the music. But look at him just being correct. Look at him just being chill. This is him on a chill one. On a chill one. Look how smooth the motions are. Look at where it stops the points. There's no crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's effortless. Everything's an expression. Chill, nice, easy, flowing, expressive. The hand movements, which is, I think, one of his kind of signatures. Somehow incorporating loads of hand movements into the dance without making it look, it's almost like a Vogue thing, but it's not as maybe loud kind of thing. It's almost like a toned down version of voguing, but you're using a lot of the hands to do this and do stuff and moving it together, the shoulder. It's just, come on, bro. It's just too good. I don't know if it's just me feeling in a flipping hype and good mood because of the summer, but you know, you might see me at the bus stop. I might start being that guy because I used to be that guy. I used to be that guy at the bus stop waiting for my bus, and I'd be there waiting for my bus, like, you know, with an imaginary, especially if the bus has got a shelter, looking at the fucking plastic window thing and like doing some bops as I'm fucking waiting for the bus, you know, and just kind of shimmering. And who knows, have I missed a couple buses back in the day because I've turned my back to the fucking, you know, where the bus was coming from and I was fucking doing a few Harlem shakes in the fucking window? Yes. Maybe I have. Maybe I have in my past missed a few buses because I was fucking moving my shoulders left and right, waiting for the bus. And then I turned around and the bus walks by and you see some woman smiling as I'm fucking doing a dance there, acting like I'm going to go to some fucking band school or something. But I don't know, man. After watching that Victoria Monet video, I really want to start dancing again. I really do. And I guarantee you, if you do watch this Victoria Monet video for the tune called All Right, you might not want to dance like I, but you will appreciate the beauty of dancing. You will appreciate it and you will want to express and move your body and do some things to just show the world or show yourself that you love and appreciate music. That's all it's all about, man. Why the hell not? Especially these days, you go to kind of raves and you see people not dancing, not having a good time, just acting all stush and shit and not fucking letting their bodies move. And you're like, come on, bro. You've only got one life. Let's live it. Let's have a good time, please. Is that possible? Is that possible? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Cool. Moving on from that one and talking about leaving people alone and seeing if life is possible and things are not possible. I've been seeing this trend online that I've been noticing that I've been really disliking. And I've been noticing this trend online with people essentially, how do I describe it? Trying to forcibly push running or jogging in particular, because even the term running is a bit annoying. But trying to push the pursuit of jogging as a subculture. Essentially, people are trying to turn running into a subculture because I guess nowadays that whole athleisure thing is really popular. I think if you live in a metropolitan city, if you live in a metropolitan city, anyone that's watching this stream or watching this podcast, you would know that there's a trend now with athleisure. You see random girls in your area who'll be wearing like tights with white socks over them, with some running shoes or some athletic shoes, maybe some Asics, maybe some New Balance, and a bubble jacket or a duffel or a bomber jacket, right? And before in the past, when I see those girls, I'll be thinking, oh shit, she's on her way to fucking Pilates, she's on her way to the gym. That's credit to you. But then I started to notice more and more girls wearing that type of outfit, and I would notice more and more girls that, you don't look like you can do a single push-up. And I'm seeing in the shops buying food and shit and hanging out, and I realized, oh, that's just a way, that's just a style now. It's a dress code. So if you don't want to wear like pajamas, or you want to have something a bit, you know, comfortable to wear, you wear some tights, and running leggings or jogging leggings are usually very comfortable to wear all day round. You put on some nice running shoes that are comfortable, some nice socks and a bubble jacket, and you're basically covered. Especially if you live in London, you're basically covered across the board weather-wise. So that's why it's become more popular. But I also think it's kind of like running, jogging, stolen valor. You look like you're going for a run, but you're not really going for a run. It's kind of odd, but regardless, people do that. But then the next level of it is this shit, which I dislike with all of my fucking heart. People deciding that running has become a subculture, so much so that they're changing and pushing running as an activity to do in groups for the purpose of dating. So essentially, to translate, niggas are running now in running clubs so that they can fuck white girls. That's what's happening. Niggas are now deciding to buy Hoka running shoes, On running shoes, Nike running shoes, wear the shortest shorts, and go join a running club so they can beat some Scandinavian things or some other white things that don't mind black boys or whatever it may be, or just anyone in general. They've turned running into this cringy, horrendous, horrible, like meetup thing. This almost quasi like running version of Tinder or like a speed dating. And it's really annoying. I hated it when it was running clubs, and now it's become running clubs that you can go and date. I fucking hate the whole thing. And this video in particular went viral a few weeks ago, that features these three boys, all very fit, all, you know, clearly look like they can run, with their tops off, going around, you know, getting numbers from all these random girls in the running club. Funnily enough, all the numbers that they're getting are from girls that are white. There's no other, you know, they don't have any other taste apart from that. It's even the Asian dudes looking for a white princess. But it's just the fact that this is becoming a thing. Like, these guys are going to running clubs with the sole purpose of, like, as soon as I get a tiny bit sweaty, I'm taking off my top, I'm letting these girls see my tits, and I'm fucking cashing numbers. Which again, I can't hate, because, you know, if my upper body looked like this, I would never wear a t-shirt. I would podcast like this. You know, if my upper body looked like this right now, I would never wear a t-shirt ever. So I understand why these guys look like this, or I understand like this. But running is sacred. Jogging is sacred. Why are they sullying jogging and turning it into another opportunity to be horny? Surely we have too much horniness in the world in some regard. Surely there should be a horniness, there should be a level of horniness appropriate to the setting you're in. You know, it's like twerking in church. Really? Do you really need to twerk in church? Can't you have one place in your life where your bum isn't gyrating up and down and shaking left and right? Is that not possible? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm hating. Let's play the clip. Look at the black girl. She's gonna write an op-ed when she gets home. She's gonna write a 10-tweet thread about about how black men are letting black women down by going to these fucking running clubs and not cashing in. Look, she's not. That's the thing I love about her face. She's not even like upset. She's just disappointed. She's let down. She's not even like raging like classical, you know, the trope of like angry black woman. No, she's just like, really, nigga? Really? She's the kind of black girl who's like, you know what? You know, I can appreciate why a black guy will be into a white woman. I can see what they can see, but it's like, you went for like that level. She's not even like Margot Robbie level. It's like, okay, cool, it's undeniable, right? Anyone would want her. But like, you went for this. This is who you're choosing over me. Or over others that look like you. Really? I fucking love it. She's so disappointed. It's the perfect expression. It honestly is the perfect expression. And he has the perfect expression too, right? Look at that. He knows how easy this is going to be, innit? Just show some teeth, turn up there in some red trousers, I don't know, put a couple of earrings in, and then there you go. Bob's your uncle, Granny's your her eyes, there's a bit where her eyes are like looking to the side. Where is it? She's like, yo, she laughs at the camera, obviously to be nice, but the shadiness is somewhere around there. She's like, really? Really? She ain't even that bad. And his whole dick print is on her shoulder. His whole dick print is on her shoulder too, by the way. Right? This guy is, again, I can't blame the dude, but he's peacocking for peacocking's sake. He's got the smallest vest I've ever seen. You probably could wear a size larger than that. The straps are bursting, literally bursting the straps of his vest. It's a very short one. It's super short. It's almost, doesn't cover his junk. The junk is junking. He's got some go faster glasses on, right? So he can spot all the baddies, right? So he's never crying. He's always on point. And he's drinking some sort of, some sort of healthy shake, to make sure that he's aligned with the other ladies there. And again, I personally hate this. Me personally, if you had to ask me, I detest this. I think this is deplorable. I think running should always be a personal pursuit that you do on your own for meditation, just in terms of I don't even meditate, not even active meditation. Just, there should be some things in your life that you do by yourself. Surely. Like, do people go grocery shopping with their friends? Is that a trend now? Do people decide to go grocery shopping with their blood clot friends? Do they go and buy a pair of new jeans with their blood clot friends? Do they go and buy a new t-shirt, a new shirt for the fucking work with their blood clot friends? You need to always be with fucking people at all times. Does it always need to be like a club? Oh man, have you ever been shopping and you wanted a friend? Join us for shopping friends. Like this, do you always need to have to find a friend to do things? Like, are you not incapable of doing anything on your own? Everything has to revolve around a group of people. It's fucking wild. It honestly is wild. It really, really, really is wild. They've sullied it. Like, there's no place that's safe that isn't horny. Everywhere's horny. Everywhere's fucking horny. Everywhere you go, where there happens to be guys and girls around, somebody has to get their dick wet. Somebody's tit has to get grabbed, whether with permission or without permission. Something has to go down. And bless the little Asian guy in the middle, by the way. Bless the Asian don in the middle. I'm not too sure the Asian, I don't think the Asian don in the middle got any action. I think the Somalian guy on the right and the Asian dude in the middle were just having to fight for scraps. Whenever fucking the Wesley Snipes are running was done with his girls that he wanted, they just got the scraps. They probably didn't get no action. That's probably why the video doesn't feature them anyway. It's just him in the back, with his top off already. The running class starts, they meet at a coffee shop and he's already got his top off. You already know what time he's on, right? The meeting club starts at 5 o'clock. He gets there at 4:45 and his top is already off. You know what time he's on. What kind of running club? Imagine going to a running club for the first time. How the fuck do you get into a position where you've got your arm around someone like this? How does that even happen? You don't even know these people and you suddenly got your arm around them. But the Riz game is top tier because look at the teeth. Look at that. He knows Wagwan. He knows what he's doing. Look at the teeth. He knows what time it is. She knows what time it is, She's about to get the fucking Carmex, She's gonna get she's gonna double check her drawers and make sure that she's got enough Vaseline. Make sure the sheets are where they need to be. Because we know what Guan. She's very aware. Everyone's aware of what's about to happen in about 12 hours. Honestly, it's so insane. Anyway, all that to say, there's now an article about it because I've been noticing it and everyone else is noticing it. And there's now an article about it courtesy of the Times. And the article is as follows. Forget the pub. I tried dating apps' new run club. It's Gen Z's answer to speed dating, a 5K jog for singles. Hannah Skeely gets to go. A 5K. A 5K jog for singles. I'm sorry, but if I'm running a 5K, I want to run it fast. I want to try and get my time down. Like the fastest I've ever run a 5K was like 21 minutes, but that was many years ago. Recently, when I did a 5K, I did it in like 32 minutes, but 21 was my record. I would love to get it down to like a sub 20-minute fucking 5K. But 5Ks are fun, right? They're really fun because you get to really go hard. The whole plan or the whole approach for a 5K, as they say, is to just run as fast as possible at the start and then just hold on. I've tried pacing it. Pacing a 5K doesn't work. Like trying to go, okay, I'm going to do 7:10 first mile, 7 minutes second mile, and then try and go fast as last mile. It doesn't work. The best way to get a good 5K time is just to start fast on the blocks. Go as fast as possible and then just try and hold on to that bad boy. It's fucking difficult. Your ass will be hanging out of your fucking asshole. Your mouth would feel like it's just filled with fucking sandpaper. It'll be awful, but you will get a good time. And they're really fun. But they require a lot of cardiovascular fucking output. You can't be talking. I can't be like, yeah, wagwan, so what? What are you doing tomorrow? Oh, what? So what? Have you watched Succession? Do you like Love Island? Oh, yeah, really? Yeah. What team do you support? I can't do all that shit when I'm running. I'm trying to get a fucking good 5K time. So what the hell is this? Are they really running? Are they like speed walking? Like what the hell is going on? I'd love to know. And also, she's got an horrendous running outfit on, by the way. This running outfit is terrible. People who try and wear like cute running outfits, I've never understood this. Like, what is this? It's like a pair of shorts that look like a skirt, and it's a shirt that has like, it's like a shirt version of those leggings that girls wear to make their bum look big, but it's at the front. So what is that? Is that cinch meant to make your tits look big? So when you're running, are you trying to accentuate your boobs? See what I mean? Everyone's just like horny. Like, what the fuck? You're running. You want people to stare at your tits when you're running, or you just want to run? And why are you wearing a skirt that looks like a shorts, that looks like a skirt, green? It's just, anyway, whatever. I no offense to people here, but when I'm running, I'm not trying to look cute. So I don't see how a 5K for singles is going to work because no one looks cute. Everyone's wearing fucking, leggings and socks and shit. I don't know. Is that hot to some people? I guess it is, maybe. Maybe it is. Let's continue to the flipping article. So, it's 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, and I'm all geared up for my usual plod, but this morning I'm not alone. I'm pounding the 5K London streets with 150 other singletons. Oh my God, I'm definitely in the minority. I'm definitely speaking as somebody that's in the minority. 150 people turned up for this running club for singles. Yo, people are lonely out there, innit? There's 150 people that turned, or maybe, maybe there's not people, maybe not everyone there's single. 150 people. Fucking hell. That's right. This event isn't about pace, personal best, Strava kudos, or trying to get your fresh treads pre-marathon. It's about flirting, mingling, and hoping to meet your match instead. Count me out then. It's not about being first. It's not about running fast. It's not about being your own personal best. What the fuck am I there for then? To socialize and find out who I can go to the pub with. Get lost. If it sounds like your idea of hell or a surefire way to twist an ankle while eyeing up the crowd, then perhaps you're too old. I feel attacked. I feel attacked. Okay, fair play. For the wellness obsessed Gen Zs, run clubs have become the hot new in-person hunting ground. It's no coincidence that just as 400 nightclubs have closed across the UK since lockdown, 1,263 Saturday morning parkrun events have sprung in their place. One of my girlfriends met her partner during the warm-up of a Pure Sport weekly run club. They bonded when she accidentally walloped him while doing leg sweeps. She didn't accidentally wallop him. He was staring at her bum and she hit him with her fucking foot. Girls are so naive, innit? She accidentally walloped him while doing leg sweeps. He was staring at her back off. He saw she was pulling a wagon. He liked the way her fucking buttocks moved when she was walking. He kept looking. She kept swinging. Boom. Connection. But what I do hate about this paragraph is this assumption that because clubs are shut down, we should start running. Why can't we have both, motherfuckers? Why can't we have more nightclubs and also have the ability for people to go out for park runs? What does one have to beget the other? And to be honest too, people who go to like park runs to meet girlfriends and boyfriends, they're not going to go to nightclubs. They're pretty much dorks. Let's be fair, right? If you're going to a run club to go meet your boyfriend or girlfriend or a potential partner, you're pretty much most certainly a dork, And also, even if you're not a dork, how are you going to get up in the morning to go for a park run if you've been out the night before? So, let's not conflate two things there. No one's meeting in the bar queue anymore. Yes, they are. What are you talking about? No one's meeting in the bar queue. Anyway, I don't want to say that. According to a survey of 2,000 people by Heineken, Gen Z's alcohol consumption has dropped 25% in the past 4 years, which may be why the dating app Thursday, there's a dating app called Thursday. What? Okay. The dating app Thursday has just launched a run club. The strapline, pace or mine. Your pace or mine. That's quite a good tagline. I'm not going to lie. Big up the marketing or brand team that came up with that. That's really good. Your pace or mine. I like that. And I've signed up. Tinder has a run club. Cool. Soulmates in collaboration with a runner training app. It's one way to set heart racing. At the Thursday start line, there's a hum of nervous, excited energy as everyone weighs up their options. I'm concerned this is going to turn into a game of kiss and chase. The girls are dressed in bright Lululemon cords or coboards, micro-free people running shorts, and patterned Gymshark runsies all in ones with matching mega scrunchies, Oakley sunglasses, and chunky on-running or New Balance trainers. The fitness crowd's answer to a date night dress and heels. All around me, I see heads of distinctly curled ponytails made by Dyson Airwraps braids. Honestly, this lady, just get to the point, man. You're describing this like you're going to describe someone's butthole in a minute. The boys are mostly in all black. Wise move as sweat won't show up. You see what I mean about these fucking dorks and losers? So you're going to a running club to go and potentially meet a mate, and you're trying not to sweat. Can somebody explain how that makes sense? How can you possibly run without running? It's not running then, so you're walking. You're meeting up, basically dressing up in athleisure as a bit of stolen valor, collective stolen valor, but then you're choosing not to run. You don't want to run. You don't want to sweat. You don't want to get your heart rate up at all, 0. So you're wearing black. Oh my God, man. I fucking hate everything about this so much. And strutting for the suitors are the highlights of pink and yellow socks and garish bright Nike sneakers. And everyone had the same idea of a pre-sprint spritzing, a headache-inducing cocktail of Marc Jacobs Daisy perfume and Dior Sauvage hangs over the group. That's fucking hilarious, though. Those are the two normie, creative class fragrances of choice. Hipsters, whatever you call those people. The girls like Marc Jacobs Daisy perfume, the boys like Dior Sauvage. Now, Dior Sauvage is actually a nice fragrance. I know people kind of rag on it, but almost similar to like I forgot that Tom Ford one, the wood something. They're obviously overused and they're obviously fucking bait and shit, but they're not bad fragrances, especially if you're first getting into them and shit. Continues. Mike, a handsome 6'1", 31-year-old property manager, strikes up a conversation with me mid-start jump, which we agree is the ickiest of all warm-up exercises. Why do people talk? Do people talk like this in real life? You have an ick for warm-up exercises. How do you exercise then? So I wonder if there's like a genre of people who work out who try to not do things that will require any high level of physical exertion. There must be those people that exist out there who don't want to sweat, who don't want to get their heart rate up, who don't want to like look weird. It's just like, it's a star jump. It is what it is. What's wrong with the star jump? We've been doing I think most people have been doing star jumps since they were like 3 years old. It's one thing that you just, it's like doing fucking sprints from one point to the other. Like, we've all been doing this from the moment we were born. What's wrong with the star jump? As we set off, dodging pedestrians, I learned he lives locally. Ooh. Enjoys tennis, cricket and cooking, and hasn't been at a run club before. That's definitely a lie, by the way. Whenever a guy says they haven't done something before, they're definitely lying. Just speaking from a, piece of shit, guy myself. Whenever someone says I haven't done this, I've done it. Okay. I enjoy running anyway, so why not try and meet a like-minded girl? Okay. Me too, I reply breathlessly. Though it seems I'm not his like-minded match, I lose him in a swell of runners as we lap Wandsworth Park. I'm not surprised you lost him, babe. Honestly. This writer, I'm not surprised you lost him. That outfit, if this is the woman that's writing it, that outfit is... Yo, that outfit is something. I'm not gonna lie. That outfit is truly, truly horrendous. So I'm not surprised. It's almost like she got everything in sale. That outfit looks like she bought everything in sale, literally. From the shorts to the top, to the socks, to the trainers, to the black top underneath it. Like you can see, it's just awful. So I'm not surprised he left. But hey, it is what it is. At the finishing line, people swap Strava profiles rather than their numbers, gained 4 new followers, 2 of whom later messaged me up for a drink. And Ali, he was clearly right. We're already planning our next running route. So she definitely got some numbers and stuff. Okay, fair play. I have a Strava, I use it, but again, it's not. I just feel like some people just need to just leave things alone. Can't you just have your Strava as like a fitness app that doesn't have to turn into every other social media platform that you have, where people are DMing you and you're like trying to flirt? Just leave it for the running. You know, like somebody's achievements, you know, see what route they ran and be like, oh my God, so impressed with their PB. Keep it moving. Why does everything have to turn into fucking horny, creepy, suck, fuck, whatever places? It's just annoying. I despise it. And maybe because I've been running for a long time on my own forever, I've also been around when Nike run them. There was this thing called Run Them Crew back in the day. Nike had this thing called Run Them Crew, which is, I think even the name used to piss me off, like Run Them Crew. Like it was almost like, you know, geared or pointed, or like the appeal was to kind of appeal to black people or like people that live in urban areas and shit, like run them, like go fuck off. And everyone used to meet up at the Nike store and wear like cool Nike shoes, and they'd have a DJ there and you'd run together. And this guy called Charlie Dark did it, who's a DJ, and you know, one of those like, you know, those like happy, like, you know, that quintessential, always like expressive, happy, smiley black guy, in, you know, in like marketing material. He's like that kind of guy. Like I don't know the guy too well, but I just used to hate how his face moved and shit and his persona. So these type of people will be running around the Nike offices or Shoreditch or somewhere in Soho, and they'd be running around and they'd be whooping as they're running, or someone would have like a jukebox and be singing some song, like some Craig David song or something. Like I'll be like, bro, like honestly, this is so cringe. And all these people are old as well. Like, and I think at a time when Run Them Crew started, it was almost like a way to try to get a job at Nike. Like you met people there that worked at Nike and you tried to befriend them. It's like, yuck. I barely wear Nike gear when I'm running anyway. I feel like their shoes are decent, but in terms of running gear, all the other brands that aren't Nike and Adidas are usually the best. So the last thing I want to do is to try and go to these kind of places and try and fake that I'm a Nike head to toe guy when I run, because I don't. I change my running gear and brands based on what sport or whatever activity I'm doing. But I just fundamentally don't agree. Even running in pairs, or pairs, as fucking Rick Ross will say, I fucking despise. Running should be a solo pursuit. It should be something that you do for yourself. It's something you do for your mental clarity, your fitness, whatever it may be. But there should be at least one thing in your blood clot life outside of shitting, pissing, and showering that you just do by yourself. Not fucking with a group together. Oh, let's meet up, let's hang out, let's do this. And then you include music into it. Or it has to have a DJ, you have to do it in a club, it has to have art. And it's like, bro, give it up, man. Give it up. Not everything has to be a fucking I despise it so much. I hate it with all my fibers in my fucking body. But the reality is, as this article says, 150 people turned up to a singles event geared to runners on a fucking Saturday morning in London, where people like to get fucked up and drunk all the time. So clearly I'm in the minority. Clearly I'm the only one speaking the way that I'm speaking now, or have the point of view that I have, because the majority of people love to go running in groups. They love to be like jogging and talking. So how's the kids? How's your cat? Like people love to do all that shit. I fucking hate it. When I see people running together and talking, the first thing I like to do is run in between them, or to walk between them and make them fucking split. It's like, yeah, man, go save your conversation for a text or a DM, bro. Look up. I'm walking in here as well. I fucking despise it. But if you're running by yourself, I'm gonna clear the way. I'm gonna stand by the side. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna tip my hat to you. I'm gonna stand by the side. I'm gonna show you my watch, but hey, I'm with you, you know? But if you're running in pairs and you're talking, I'm not gonna move out of the way. I'm gonna make it weird, so and they're gonna be like, oh, well, stop talking to each other and you would have seen me in it, motherfuckers. Anyway, what can you do? Wish I wasn't so awesome. Moving on, we've got this topic that I want to talk about regarding the DJ I Hate Models. I Hate Models run into a bit of bother at a Marseille festival. I Hate Models ran into a bit of bother at a Marseille festival in France. He got into a bit of trouble. As the headline says here on RA, Marseille festival Le Bon Air cancels I Hate Models set due to a private jet request. Bad boy. Bad fucking boy. I Hate Models will no longer perform at a Marseille festival, Le Bon Air, this weekend. The festival broke news on Instagram earlier on May 15th, this happened a while ago, implying that the French artist's demands of travelling there by a private jet was the reason for the cancellation. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this. I don't like this. It's almost like virtue signaling for the festival to like make it known that he's not gonna come, and not to do that what every other festival does or every other club does. If a DJ can't, come to the festival or can't come to their gig, they usually make up a lie. Unforeseen circumstances, personal reasons, blah, 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 blah. And usually when they say that, it usually has to do with maybe the DJ is tired, maybe they got too high and they can't leave their hotel room because they're too fucked up. Maybe they had an argument with their spouse, like marital, family shit, or maybe, they just didn't get to the airport on time and they missed their flight. But usually those are the main reasons why DJs will be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. My voice is broke. My finger doesn't work anymore. It's usually one of those type of excuses. And clubs kind of, acquiesce to it as well. And it'd be, we'll reschedule for another time. But for a festival to come out and say why this guy isn't playing and actually state the reason why and say that they requested a private jet and that's abhorrent, this almost feels like virtue signaling. Because let's be fair, I Hate Models, not my favorite DJ. I'm not gonna ever go and see him play anywhere. But from the clips that I've seen him perform at, people seem to like what he does. He also puts on a hell of a show. He's there topless with his face mask on, moving from right to left, jumping on the table and stuff. He gives people a show. He's one of the most popular DJs within I wouldn't even call what he plays techno, but within like the EDM space. He's super, super popular. And if he's that popular, I would imagine his request, his wants, his needs, his riders, his, things that he needs to do a gig or to get to a gig, it's probably well known. It's not a surprise that when it was concerns certain gigs and certain locations, he might need certain ground transport. He might need a certain level of ground transport. He might need a certain level of hotel, a certain drink on his rider, certain flights. This might be something that everybody kind of knows of the business. So for this festival to come and be, oh my God, you requested a private jet, it smells a bit fishy, because how did you not know this guy flies like this? And this is how he likes to get transported to his gigs. Is it a bit crazy? Probably. Is it not the most environmentally decision in the world? Probably not. But I would say a festival by default probably shouldn't exist if you're into saving the environment, right? If you really are into that whole, the earth is warming up like a fucking kettle, maybe don't put on a fucking festival. Because regardless of what you do, there's nothing that you can do to ever limit whatever carbon emissions that you are trying to limit by not giving this guy a private jet. Just give the guy a private jet. Unless he did other things in the background that pissed them off, and then they're like, you know what? Get fucked. You and your private jet, you can stick it up your little bony ass. Maybe something like that happened. But I feel like just airing him out like this it's a bit poor taste. It's a little bit in poor taste, it's a little bit in poor taste. But again, French people, they don't give a shit. When you piss a French person off, they're gonna go right to the end to fucking embarrass you. So maybe this is part of it. Who knows? Let's read the article here. No artist has ever taken a private jet to come and play at Le Bon Air Festival. I love how they were shocked by it. But to be fair, this is a false statement, because how about if a DJ paid for their own private jet to get there? They're saying no other artist has taken one. Maybe they mean they haven't paid for one, but maybe somebody's gone there with one. It continues. This highly polluting means of transportation consumes 50 times more CO2 than a train. It's ecological, economical, social aberration that we systemically Oh, fuck off. What kind of festival is this? They want you to get there by horse and carriage. They want you to play at Le Bon Air, and they want you to get there by what? They want you to carpool or something. This guy's one of the most famous DJs in the world. Why would he get in a fucking train to go to a festival in Marseille? Are you insane?
get me the fucking jet or send me on my way. Give me half of my fucking money and let me go. What the hell is this about? Huh? In a statement sent to resident advisor, I Hate Models agent described Le Bon Air's communication as sad and disappointing. I agree. This is highly unprofessional. I'm not going to lie. Part of me would like it if more clubs were honest about why the person didn't come to play. It's like one time when I found out this one gig I was meant to go to. No, I was meant to go see Ricardo Villalobos play one time. Maybe it was at Fabric or something. And he didn't turn up, right? Ricardo Villalobos. And I think at that time I wasn't aware because I was a fan of Ricardo Villalobos, but for his productions, for his DJ sets on YouTube, I'd see, for him just being a bit of a maverick and a bit of a fucking rock star behind the fucking decks. But I hadn't known of the legend of Ricardo Villalobos in the club when he plays. So I went to go see him play at Fabric, I think, one time. He didn't turn up. And then, you know, speaking to guys there while I'm in the queue, while I'm in the toilet, about to do a bump or whatever, they're telling me, oh shit, no, this is quite standard. Ricardo Villalobos will sometimes not turn up because he just gets too fucked up the night before. And one particular guy told me a story about Ricardo Villalobos turning up to a gig somewhere. I don't know where it may have been, allegedly, let's say. And he was so fucked up that they had to literally hold him up to play. Like, he was literally falling over all the place. And then there came a point where they swapped him with somebody else. And I don't think they could see, I don't know what club it was, but they swapped him with somebody else. No one could see the booth, so they didn't know that he wasn't actually there. He was actually sleeping on the ground. Then he woke up after like 4 hours, a little bit of a kip, and he continued playing. So, you know, someone like that, you'd imagine, has probably cancelled a ton of gigs in their career. So I think as Bants, as part of some law, as some, you know, nice bit of like, you know, office pub chat, I wouldn't mind it if a club was actually honest and say, you know what, this person didn't turn up because they got too fucked up. This person didn't turn up because they got arrested by the police for some assault or something. I mean, like, I would actually like it if they were a bit honest about why people don't turn up, because it happens a lot in the DJ world, a lot. You see someone, you buy tickets to go see someone perform, you get there, and then literally, you know, and the worst thing, especially in London, because clubs nowadays are really struggling to get people to go to clubs, and, you know, ticket prices are through the roof and people are just not going out anymore. London clubs are notorious for not letting you know that somebody isn't going to turn up until like an hour before they're set, or an hour before the club opens. So maybe you're somebody like myself who, you know, you buy your ticket, like usually I don't really check the thing all the time. I've already got my ticket. I kind of know when they're going to play, or I know I'm going to get there. So I just get there. And then I don't realize until maybe I check my phone when I'm there that, oh, this person's cancelled. So the club and the DJ themselves are in cahoots, and they announce it as late as possible so nobody refunds or something. It's super fucking annoying. So part of me kind of likes what Le Bon Air did here. Air the guy out. Fuck you. You're not getting a private jet. We're like an environmentally, you know, cautious fucking festival. You knew what the deal was when you signed up with us, blah, blah, blah. And now you're asking for a private jet. Go fuck off. But I also think it's kind of poor taste, especially if you're in the business, to be airing out somebody. I mean, it's a bit stinky. But let's continue. In a statement sent by a resident advisor, I Hate Models agent describes Le Bon Air's communication as sad and disappointing. They said that it was always his intention to cover the full cost of the jet, and they only asked for the festival to cover the cost of the airport transfers. But that's a problem though, isn't it? I'd imagine the airport transfers in such a small region like that would probably be quite expensive. That's probably the issue, probably the money side of it. Because a lot of people that do festivals, when I read interviews with them, festivals for the most part, unless they're like big commercial ones, people are basically doing it for the love of the game. They're not doing it to make money. Festivals rarely make money. There's too much, you know, stuff that goes into making them work. So when they're doing them literally for the love of the game. So they don't probably have any extra bits of cash left to get you a fucking, you know, airport transfer. It's whatever flight they can get you, whatever accommodation they can get you, and that's it. Like, there is no other, you know, adjustments that can be made. It continues. As I Hate Models had another gig in Germany the same night as the festival, it was agreed that we would manage transport with a buyout, the statement explained. So we worked on a solution of a private jet, as it was the only option that would ensure he arrived in time for his set in Marseille. We never asked the festival to cover any of the cost, not to book anything. We took the private jet option because it was the only option for I Hate Models to arrive on time for his set at Le Bon Air. He was very looking forward to play for his fans and didn't want to let anyone down, even if it meant he had to pay for the private jet himself. He also offered to rebuy the CO2 emissions to make up for his own cost. Starting on Friday, Le Bon Air takes place. Mamma mia. So essentially, the truth is somewhere in the middle. most likely there's a lack in communication or a breakdown in communication between Le Bon Air and I Hate Models team in terms of what the details were between the fucking private jet. I personally think most likely I Hate Models team did cheekily request this very, I'm assuming, social, environmentally conscious festival for a private jet. I think they did. They probably don't remember, because I think when you're I Hate Models, right? Let's just check his RA. When you're someone like I Hate Models, you probably have a gazillion gigs a year, probably in the month. He probably doesn't even know what the names of the festivals are, let alone what the theme is. So most likely they had no idea what the festival was. They probably didn't remember, and they just cheekily requested, "Hey, can you get us a private jet?" Because he's currently they'd prefer to get him there early and then maybe get him another gig somewhere else, because, you know, management team wants to like get the most out of him so they can get a nice commission. And then they just, you know, unfortunately asked the wrong festival at the wrong time, and then they let them know, "Hey, go fuck yourself." Because look, you know, he's booked and busy. He's all over in June. Look how many countries he's playing in. In June alone, he's in France, Munich, Glasgow, Stockholm, Venice, Paris. Yeah, so look at all those countries. France, Germany, England, Sweden, Italy, Romania, Germany again, Spain, Netherlands, Holland, Serbia, Belgium, Ibiza. Yeah, there's no way he knew or remembered, or their team remembered what festival it was. So they just cheekily requested it. Then the festival let them know, "You can go fuck yourself." So both people are in the wrong, I think, for the most part. But I also think this is probably indicative of the level of fame and level of DJs that are at the moment. There are DJs now at the moment who most of you have probably never heard of, who are flying around the country in private jets to go play for hordes of thousands of sweaty white people every other weekend or every weekend. And they're making bank doing it as well. And the music, you probably don't even like it. That's the funny thing about DJ world. It's just like, it's so fucking odd, and it's so weird. It's so big. It's so broad. And it seems to be a never ending amount of money. The fees are crazy, but then clearly people are paying for it. Let's see what does Google say about his DJ fee? Does anyone know? We don't know. No one knows. Has anybody got a rough estimate here? I Hate Models. I Hate Models has immense psychological problems, toxic masculinity. So I went to a gig. Nobody knows what type of fee he's on, but let's just say as an estimate, he might be on like 6K or let's say 10K, 20K, who knows? Let's see this post. Actually, this is a 200 comment post on the techno subreddit that's just reads, "I Hate Models." What are people saying about I Hate Models? What they're saying about him there? The man is a beast. I don't know why he gets so much hate on his sub. He grabbed Texas by the horns. Another person says here, "Dude has stage presence. Thing is, as later as it gets, he gets more fucked up and isn't able to do any transitions anymore. If you're equally fucked up, it doesn't matter though." But that's part of the. I never understood people that go to see someone play and expect them to, especially in a nightclub, expect them to play like someone in a band. Obviously, when I was DJing as often I was in the past, I had this tradition where I would never drink or do any drugs before my gig. I just leave them for the end, if anything, because I wanted to be clear-minded. I wanted to be attuned to the audience and shit and be able to do my best quote-unquote job. But I think, unfortunately, at this professional level, when you're like I Hate Models level and you got 1 million gigs a month, you probably do need a little bit of something, you know what I mean, to just make you feel alive, because it probably just ends up feeling like a never-ending rave, one after the other, into another hotel, into another Uber, into another plane, sitting down, into another green room, more fucking nonsense club talks, more somebody, what's your new production, track ID request, green room, another line, some groupie asking this, that, losing your wallet. Like, it's just a never-ending thing, so you probably need something just to keep you going. Another person says, "I had the same experience. He drank like a bottle and a half of Jägermeister." He sounds like a rock star to me. And then got dragged out of the stage by the security because he was already 1 hour in the slot of the next DJ. At the beginning of his set, he was nice, but the more drunk he got, the more fucked up it got. When I went home, I Hate Models was arguing with the security since he wanted to go back on stage. I don't know about you, but if that was me and I went to see someone play and they drank half a bottle of Jägermeister, they then took up an hour of the next DJ slot, then had to get physically dragged off the stage by security, kicking and screaming, I'd be a fan of theirs for life. I'd be like, wow, you definitely were worth my £30 entry ticket. You've given me a show. I got to dance to you at the beginning when you were good, and then when you got to the end, you got yourself super drunk to the point where you had a fight with a security guard. I'm into that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm into that. Another one says, I've seen him at a festival and club nights in the US and Europe, and he's just inconsistent. Hell of a producer, but he just doesn't have the guarantee to throw a good party every time he plays. Pair that with his rising popularity and therefore worse crowd, the rising ticket prices, I often have better options. But the problem here, and the reason why he's getting the big money, this sentence here, hell of a producer. He makes songs that people love and they just can't let go. Even though he might be a piece of shit, even though he might be inconsistent, even though he might be a drunk, he might be a drug addict, he might be whatever he might be. He makes songs that just touch people in a way that they cannot let go. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the power of music. The power of music. Talking about ending the show now, I wanted to just let you guys know that I'm a big fan of Charli XCX. I love Charli XCX. Charli XCX is fucking incredible. And this recent album that she put out called Brat might be another contender of album of the year for me. I know I keep mentioning on this particular podcast, every song or every album I listen to is album of the year. But I'm also not in the business of like recommending or talking about albums I didn't enjoy, because I'm not a fucking critic. I'm just a guy with a fucking opinion. But honestly, Charli XCX's recent album, Brat, might be one of the best pop albums I've listened to in a very, very, very long time. Now, having listened to Charli XCX's album called Brat, I now understand why a bunch of people didn't like Dua Lipa's Permanent Vacation, because it got panned. A lot of people didn't like it, even though it's got some good singles on there. A lot of people say that album wasn't really good. Now I get it, because this is top tier pop music. This is top tier pop music. It's so top tier, this pop music, until recently I really listened to the lyrics, and a lot of these tunes are incredibly introspective. They're incredibly emotional. They're incredibly grown up. She's saying a lot of things on these records, but the tunes, the beats are so good, you forget what she's talking about. It's almost like, you know, peak Sade, for instance, right? You listen to some Sade songs and you forget, if you don't listen to the actual lyrics, if you don't read the lyrics, you forget that she's actually talking a lot about some painful things. Abuse, divorce, kids, family. Same with this album. And it almost reminds me of a Madonna album. I think it's called Erotica. Madonna put out this album and it's a very underrated. I think it's like 1988, 1999 or something. It's an incredible album, about 18 tracks, full of fucking bangers. And that Madonna album, Erotica, for me was like, it was a perfect balance between like pop, perfect balance between like dance hits, because that was also the era, like that late 90s, early 2000s era was the era where every pop act had like a really banging R&B song, a really banging pop song, and a really banging dance record. Nowadays, it's kind of coming back into trend now because everyone's into this whole like Y2K movement or Y2K trend, and all of those artists were, you know, doing that sort of thing anyway. But going back to the whole Y2K thing, I think the reason why this album might be really good, and similar to the whole Madonna thing, Charli XCX is a weird girl because she's quite young. I think she's like 31, 32. But she's also been around since she's like 16. It's almost like a Miley Cyrus thing. She's young, but she's been around for so long that she actually experienced Bloghouse. She was around during the Bloghouse era. She was around during the indie sleaze era. And she was kind of around, sort of, you know, felt the influence of the Y2K era too. Like the genuine Y2K era, right? Fucking Will Smith, Millennium fucking song and shit, right? So I think because of that, and because she's been making music consistently, she's been able to tap into that sound in an authentic way. Not in like some cosplay way, like how Camila Cabello's doing, right? Camila Cabello now is almost basically trying to copy Charli XCX's aesthetic and everything. She's completely changed what she's about and her, you know, what she makes and shit. And it almost feels like she's, you know, performing karaoke. But when you listen to Charli XCX, you're like, oh, this is what it means when you're really about that life. When you've really been around. When you've really gathered all these fucking influences over the years, you fine-tuned your sound, but you've kept doing your thing. Because that's something I've kind of realized when I listened to this album called Brat. She's been doing this sound for a long time. She's just refined it to this final point. It's almost like the opposite, not the opposite, but it's almost like the opposite of like what Kanye does, which everybody loves. Kanye, with each album, he changes what he does. He changes his approach. He changes his sound, which we all love. But other artists, they prefer to just fine tune what they already do with each album to the point where you get to like your masterpiece. And I feel like this is the masterpiece for Charli XCX in a discography. This is going to be the one people are like, okay, she's the one. Because forget the marketing. The marketing for this was fucking insane. The rollout for this was brilliant, right? Everything about it was brilliant. But just from the beginning of this, like 360, all the way to the, like, it's just an incredible album. I don't even want to spoil it if you haven't listened to it already. It's an incredible one. Like I said, the beats are so good. The productions are so good. AG Cook is all over it. PC Music vibes. You know what I want. It almost feels like a tribute to Sophie in a way as well. Like if Sophie was around, she'd fucking love this as well. RIP to Sophie, gone way, way too soon. And it's just an incredible pop record. It's so good. I can't wait to see her live. And I think she's playing in London in November, which again is funny because, you know, a bunch of people have been cancelling dates and shit. And I think nowadays you probably have to earn people's ticket purchase. And she's earned mine. This album is so good. I'm definitely going to see her play in November. So as an outro track, I'm going to play one of those as my outro track to obviously end the podcast. But I also want to read a review that everyone's glowing after, which is a review courtesy of Pitchfork that speaks a little bit about the album. And they've reviewed it and gave it an 8.6. And again, I'm not, you know, I don't really, I don't really go to Pitchfork or to all these sites to check what people like and what they don't like. I just check, you know, the new releases. I follow NFR podcasts on Twitter and a few other people like Mimi that does all the music shit and stuff, and just download the music and listen to it. I'm a little bit old school and rough that way. I'll just listen to stuff. If I don't like it, I'll just delete it, but I'm not going to read a review and, you know, be inspired to listen to something because of a review on a website. But they did give it a glowing one, so let's see what they said about it and maybe they echo some of my thoughts. So this is courtesy of Pitchfork, about Charli XCX album called Brat. They gave an 8.6, and this is from the writer called Megan Garvey. It's an era of relatable pop star where the Machiavellian hustlers of the music industry, the A-list right songs have been unlucky and confused us to you and I. These days, the world's biggest musicians are apparently also the soul of the earth. Perpetually downtrodden by their relationships or jobs, they're down bad, but they're doing the work. Jamming the radio with songs about setting boundaries or learning their moon sign. And have you heard, their latest album is just the most vulnerable to date, despite the public seemingly allergy to moral ambiguity and the sense that it's been years since anyone was remotely honest about their motivations. Are you having fun yet? Meanwhile, Charli XCX has been dreaming of a time when the it girls were hot messes, flashing the paparazzi as they tumbled from the chateau or looking feral outside Le Deux at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday. The bimbo summits on her mood board as are the neo-splattered clubs nights of the mid-late 2000s, back when dance music was in its bedroom producer phase and pop singers were still divas who'd never condescend that they were anything like you. It's a vibe that's rather popular as of late, but Charli lived it, a blight as an English teenager whose MySpace demos had titles like Art Bitch raging vicariously through the blog sphere. When I think about it, actually, I'm thinking like, man, get well soon to Theophilus London. Because if Theophilus London was well and was maybe in the right headspace, he could be killing it now too, you know. Thinking about Theophilus London's sound, thinking about his inspirations, thinking about how long he's been around, he could be killing it now too if he was consistently putting out music and shit. Because he was kind of ahead of his time when you think about it. So yeah, get well soon, Theophilus London. Continues. Brat, the sixth album from the 31-year-old songwriter, has its roots in the stretch of the aughts, which holds a tenuous claim for the last IRL gasp alternative culture before it moved into our phones. It's also a reaction, as Charli's records tend to be, to the focus grouped monotony of the playlist for the pop and the tedium of our current authenticity obsession, and to a previous album, 2022, Crash, which posed the question, what might it sound like if I did sell out? If you read trendy literature or spend as much time on X as you might recognize the mood of the defensive, self-aware, preempting the possibility of sounding like an idiot or looking like a flop. That album, on which she utilized the first time in a decade the A&R services of her label, was the first to top the UK albums chart, but it lacked the cultural shifting oomph of Vroom Vroom or Pop 2. Records that felt like the risk that no one else would take, joining the category and transcending it. Brat arrives as the best sounding version of Charli XCX promise to make Apollinia pop landscape Disonia again. And to me, this is a great point that they made, that the last album was the one that she made to kind of appease her label. You know, she used their resources, she tapped into all their contacts, she put out an album that was, you know, essentially her kind of sellout album. It did well, you know, commercially, but culturally it didn't really shift or move the needle the way Brat has. I've seen way more authentic love and appreciation for Brat than I've ever seen for her previous albums. The streets are really feeling Brat, really feeling it. It continues. The moment bent to Charli as the winter turned to spring, beginning in the February Boiler Room set that broke the company's RSVP record within a matter of hours. Are you hearing that? Charli XCX Boiler Room event in February broke their record of RSVPs within an hours. And think about all the people that have debuted on fucking Boiler Room over the years, and Charli XCX was the one to blow it. To be fair though, a lot of people have been looking forward to her set. I think this has been a long demanded, long hyped Boiler Room set, and it did deliver. I watched the stream and it was fucking fantastic. Everyone fucking killed it. Like it kind of reminded you of like those old indie sleaze, indie dance, sweatbox warehouse raves that we all went to in the early 2000s. So they did a good job of kind of, you know, making that vibe real again and shit. But god damn it, bro, that's a big look. It continues. In a sweaty Bushwick warehouse, alongside Brat producers AJ Cook and Easy Fun, she debuted the album for the first single, Von Dutch, whose rivering synths and trigger flashbacks to the mid-hundreds of electro, of Boys Noise, and the Bloody Beetroots. Bloody hell, I remember those, isn't it? I remember Bloody Beetroots. With a hitch before the drop, you can feel inside your gut. It's okay to just admit that you're jealous of me. She yelps, winking, but meaning it. The Imperial streak of continues on with its follow-up Club Classics, over whose stripped down bounce she declares her intentions to dance for her own tracks all night. Is it just me, or is 360 her best pure pop tune in ages? I definitely agree. Especially when you listen to the lyrics, it's always going to make you laugh. The video teaming with It Girls feels heavy-handed, but not unearned. For years, both Charli and her critics seemed distractingly obsessed with her position, the darling of the underground who either would or could not graduate to main pop girl. Then something shifted, and it's already seemed to matter. She has something they didn't. She was cool. And that's it. And I think she's cool because she's been around so long. And she's adapted, she's evolved, she's grown, she's changed, she's fine-tuned, and she's now delivered her magnus fucking opus, which is Brat, essentially. But nowadays you can't buy cool because everyone's trying to just buy cool nowadays. Everyone's just trying to wear an outfit and be cool. Wear big baggy jeans, wear Brazil tops, wear fucking go fast glasses, you know, wear really gaudy bags, horrible hats and shit, just to kind of look cool. But they're not, at the essence, they're not really cool. And she's one of the rare ones who's actually cool without actually trying to be cool. It continues. With the charts full of warmed over disco and weepy Reddit detective pop, I'd have happily accepted 15 high-end throwback bangers about being iconic and dressing like you're on the symbol life, as Charli seemed to tease. As a homage of French dance music of the late 90s and 2000s, but the euphoric filler houses of a Sayadorn and Roulé de Ed Banger's heavy metal disco Brat delivers. Oh, Ed Banger also produced on that album. No wonder it sounds so good. I hear Bangladesh and Braxton, the compressed ecstasy of Talk, the sweetness of Breakbot on Apple. Oh, Breakbot, man. Honestly, Ed Banger Records back in the day. They might make another resurgence too, actually. Ed Banger Records. They were so good back in the day. RIP DJ Medi. DJ Medi on the piano drama, Mean Girls, Rewind, and a love letter to MySpace era naivety is served up in a ditzy spoken word somewhere between Uffie's Pop Glock. Wow, Uffie. Do you remember Uffie? Jesus Christ, man. All these fucking icons. And the Teachers of Peaches. Charli reprises The Affect of Girls So Confusing, a song that busts the floodgates of a dozen indie dance memories I was certain I'd repress. Not 1 ounce in 42 minutes does the momentum fade. But the past singles, Charli complicates the idea she's introduced of the impetuous bad bitch whose ideas and the world loves to jack, beginning to explore much more fascinating themes: jealousy, narcissism, girl power. On I Might Say Something Stupid, whose Gustaffelstein piano chords distilled the essence of the early Justice. By the way, Gustaffelstein at fucking Coachella, marvelous. Justice at Coachella, marvelous. The outfit he wore, Gustaffelstein, the mask, marvelous. She returns to her liminal position in the industry, describing with rightly precision the feeling of being the least famous person at a party. Snag my tights out on the lawn chair, guess I'm a mess and I play the role. I've never had a Charli lyric bounce around in my head the way that lines from Apple have, with its curious fruit allegory, and wonderfully vague remarks about driving to the airport. On Sympathy is a Knife, whose buzzsaw synths and modulated banshee howls sound most like Charli we've known, she spirals over an acquaintance who taps her insecurity. I couldn't even be her if I tried. Don't want to see her backstage at my boyfriend's show, she goes. Fingers crossed behind my back, I hope they break up quick. There are a handful of cute songs clearly directed to said boyfriend, the 1975's George Daniel, now her fiancé. But Brat's most intriguing moments regard her relationship with women, which she unpacks with striking candor. The pop feminist discourse of the past decade never seemed to make it to a topic of competition. But on the sparkly, scuzzy Girls So Confusing, Charli goes there, painting a picture of Pia, whom she frequently compared, who's either her long-lost BFF or perhaps wants to see her eat shit. It's hard to say. Surely Dux Moore will have a field day with the lines, "You're all about writing poems, but I'm all about throwing parties." But for now, let's enjoy the mystery. People are saying that's probably Lana Del Rey. This record in particular, it's amazing, by the way. She's spitting and really going for it. Girls So Confusing. But people are saying she might be talking about Lana Del Rey, obviously because of that line about you write poems. It continues. If you're the certain kind of online, you'll pretty quickly recognize the motifs of Mean Girls. Cigarettes, vocal fry, daddy issues, Catholicism. Yes, it's the first major label pop song inspired by the Red Scare podcast. I love it. I wanted to go on Red Scare, actually. I really would love her to go on Red Scare. I think that would be a really good interview. She deserves to sit down with people who won't, want to ask her questions about fucking Palestine and shit. I would fucking love her to sit down with Red Scare girls and just have a nice, candid, chill, mean girl chat. That might actually be really good. I would really fucking like that. I think Anna would ask some good questions. Dasha would cackle in the background, asking her about who she fucked last and shit. It'll be fun. I think she should go on Red Scare. Get her on the pod. It's also a counter, a catchy one at that, to what the relatable era demands of artists. Is there a way to be a pop star without being a role model? Can a woman feel empowered without being a girl boss? Can she reject the pose of perma-victim and still make resonant art? These ideas feel substantial in new ways for Charli. Writing Brat, she quietened her inner industry pro who strung together vowel words and buzzwords that rhymed, approaching her lyrics as if it were typing a gossipy text to a friend. The method worked, nudging songs about the subjects like grief and motherhood past the usual cliches of confessional writing and into reality. The somber So I is about missing Sophie, Charli's late mentor. It's also about how terrifying it can be to be friends with a genius. Much ink will be spilled about I Think About It All the Time, where is a visit to a friend who recently became a mother inspires some life-altering questions about what's her freedom worth. But what gives the story life is striking admission that, alongside tenderness and joy, she feels a sting of jealous FOMO. She's a radiant mother and she's a beautiful father. Now they both know these things I don't. You might call it her most vulnerable record to date if you're into that sort of thing. So, a good review, a bit wordy unnecessarily, but in general, it's one of the best records I've heard because of the vulnerability, but it doesn't give you the vulnerability without the hits. It's almost like the opposite of Jay-Z 444, right? Where he's saying a lot of like real shit, but it's basically boring. You can't play that shit outside of your house. But this, she's saying a lot of shit. She's speaking from a real place. A lot of raw emotion. She's spilling out her feelings, questioning herself, poking fun of herself, very self-aware, but also very critical, very true, very just right and shit. The songs are always the perfect length. Everything's just perfect about the album. I recommend you check it out. So as my end track for this particular podcast, I'm going to end this with one of my favorite songs from the album, which is called Back to Back. And I recommend, if you haven't listened to it, you listen to it yourself. But I'm going to play this as an outro for the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number, what is it? Are we 788 or wherever we are, whatever episode this is. So thank you for tuning in as per usual. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. It really has been a blast. It always is. It never is not a blast. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you're listening to the podcast or watching it live, please be aware I will be starting a random show in about 20 minutes once I finish this. So please be aware a random show will be coming at you for about 20 minutes. Won't be up too long. Maybe a couple of hours, but I've got to cover some more stuff here and there. But for those of you listening live, thank you for tuning in to the Agostinho Zinga Show. Always a pleasure, never a chore. If you're listening via the podcast app, make sure to leave me a 5-star review on the Apple Podcasts and Spotify and wherever else you listen to. Links to all the stories will be in the description. Links to my social media will be in the description too, and all of that good stuff. So enjoy Charli XCX Back to Back, courtesy of the album Brat, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Take care. Peace.